Today, I'm exposing a coordinated political operation, and as I suspected, a hunch, but now it's no longer a hunch. There is compelling evidence of the involvement of senior sub operatives, IPID insider, IDAC officers, even some MPs from Media, Diana Kola, MP Fadiel Adams, all working together behind the scenes to neutralize the PKTT and to target one man, their leader, Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo. What you're about to see is not speculation anymore. It comes from real WhatsApp and Signal messages exposed under oath during the Madlanga Commission. Let's listen.
Back to page 52 to see what happens later on the 24th of December, on the 23rd of December. The minister calls you back at 11:23. You often get called by the minister.
Commissioner?
Do you often get called by the minister?
Yeah, you do call me, but you'll find that if we have spoken that day and we continue what we're talking about, probably you'll then call me.
I see. He really seemed to want to get hold of you because he called you twice.
That's correct.
Called you again at 14:49.
That's correct.
And you still can't recall what he was calling about?
I thought, Commissioner, I can't recall. I thought you'll go to the 24th and he asked me about the arrest. You see, if...
sorry, Mr. Mogotsi, I must ask you to answer these questions as they... You can't recall.
Yes.
Let me help you again. Go back to page 45. The minister has called you at 14:49. You've had a conversation with him, apparently.
Who called me Matlala?
No. Go to 52, or you can look behind you at 52, or look to your left at 52. And you'll see that there's an incoming call from the minister at 14:49.
That's correct.
And then, 7 minutes later, if we go back to page 45,
right,
we see that you've sent Mr. Matlala this message at 10:35 saying IPID guy name, and he hasn't come back to you.
That's
So
correct.
7 minutes after the minister calls you, you send him another message. My brother, any news from IPID?
Yes, I can see, yeah, that's correct.
Why were you so anxious to get IPID news from Mr. Matlala? Was it that you didn't want to disappoint the minister?
No, the minister did not want the IPID guy. It is me who wanted the IPID guy. It is me who was pushing Kat to give me the IPID guy. And I'm still repeating, commissioners, unless if I send the message, we got a breakthrough, on the other side, we find that Kat has given me the IPID guy's name. Probably that would be the IPID, that would be the breakthrough. That's what will relate to the message of the breakthrough.
But then, sorry, I'm not understanding your answer. Are you saying that the breakthrough would be a breakthrough if Kat had told you who the IPID guy was?
I'm saying the message that you say, I remember, and it is linked to my communication with Kat and the minister, would have made sense that the portion where I say we got a breakthrough would have made sense because you imply that I was looking for the IPID guy, simultaneously I was talking to the minister, with our communication differs in seconds. If there was a breakthrough, it means it would have been that IPID guy. So it is not, and I cannot remember this message.
Well, let me suggest you another breakthrough that there may have been. You may have been told that there are grounds to arrest members of the PKTT for assaulting, allegedly assaulting Mr. Matlala when they arrested him on the 6th of December. And you may have reported that to the Minister as a breakthrough.
Probably that would be a prophecy from somewhere.
That could be.
Maybe someone prophesizing. It's not that.
You did by this stage know that Mr. Matlala was alleging that he had been assaulted, he and his wife had been assaulted on the 6th of December.
Yes, I did. And even if those people could have been arrested, there was no need for me to tell the minister.
I see. Yeah. Well, let's look at the texts again. You've asked Mr. Matlala, still on the 23rd of December at 14:46, my brother, any news from IPID?
That's correct.
Don't get a reply from him, so you call him at 15:39 on that day.
That's correct.
Why would you be calling him? You also called him at 15:40, we see lower down.
And me and Kate were talking.
You've asked him twice for details of an IPID guy early in the day and he hasn't got back to you.
Yes, he didn't come back to me.
Will you accept that the probabilities are that when you're calling him, you're looking for that IPID guy?
No, there won't be. It would have been the possibility, but if I don't remember, I don't remember. But I'm still saying I was looking for the IPID guy, and the possibility may be that, of course, I was looking for the IPID guy.
The seeds of this Matlala operation started on the 6th of December 2024. The member of PKTT is Political Killing Task Team, confronts Dumisani Matlala during an operation at his home. Matlala and his wife later claim they were assaulted. We know now it was a lie. This becomes a pretext for a planned crackdown on PKTT leadership, Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo. So the key takeaway from this is that this day becomes the legal excuse used later to initiate arrest attempts on the Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo, who uncover the Big Five cartels.
But it's not easy to convey a message verbally to someone on those things. It's easy to say any IPID guy because I wanted the name. So I would want him probably to type it or to get something tangible.
So, and he hasn't yet told you who the IPID guy is?
He didn't tell me. You'll see in our chats, in some of the chats, he do acknowledges that the IPID guy could not help him and he was not brave enough. It's written in one of the messages. Yeah, there we go. On page 47, he said, on page 47, if you go there, I asked him, IPID guy can be a breakthrough. It's me saying that.
We'll come to that in due course.
And he answered, there's a bit of a hurdle there, but I'll fill you in. Then I said, will it work? It never worked.
Mr. Mogotsi, we'll get to, I promise you'll have an opportunity to explain that, chat, because the word that you use calls for some explanation. But we'll get there in due course. I want to take this chronologically. Let's see what the next stage of these proceedings is. On the 24th of December, if we go back to page 53 and your WhatsApps to the Minister, you see on Tuesday, the 24th of December at 1919, it's the Minister who's initiating contact again, and he says, was the arrest effected?
This I remember.
And what do you say this was?
In the Stilfontein.
We're back with Stilfontein now.
That's correct.
Okay, I want to put it to you that that's false, and you know it's false.
It's not false, it's true. It's me who was talking to the minister. There's no way you can know that.
So on the 23rd of December 2024, the Battle Minister of Police Senzo Mchunu calls Mogotsi twice in one day, at 11:23, at 14:49, and minutes later after that call, the Mogotsi then messages Matlala, and he then inquire about this IPID guy. What that means is that the minister pressure, whatever he discussed with Mogotsi on the phone call, sort of made Mogotsi to then text Matlala to chase up the guy in IPID office. The commission exposes him when he actually lies about this, and he actually thinks was about the the Sterkfontein illegal miner. So we know that on the 24th of December, again, Christmas Eve, the minister then messaged him on Signal. This is a Signal. Yes, Signal can be extracted if criminal activity suspected. The phone is available. It can be extracted, the message from Signal. So don't be fooled. All right, this is Signal chat between the Minister of Police, Embattled Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, and actually Mogotsi, this Brown Mogotsi, who's been questioned by an advocate at Madlanga Commission. So this message that we hear now, it says, was the arrest effected? And this is the strongest evidence that the minister himself was also demanding the arrest. It shows very clear here that the Senzo Mchunu wanted the arrest of the leadership of the PKTT. All right, that uncovered the big five cartels. The arrest in question was PKTT, not Stilfontein Fantasy, as our professional liar, Bar Mogotsi, alleged to be. It's not about that. And even the commissioners was able to point out this is actually, I'll put it to you, this is false, and you know it's false. And we agree 100% false to say this exchange and conversation was about the Stilfontein Fantasy. It wasn't about a Stilfontein Fantasy. So on Christmas Day, Christmas morning, these people, I suppose criminals don't have Christmas, really. They don't even, they for all things on Christmas Day, while South Africans are unwrapping their gifts, they're enjoying the Christmas lunch, they're going to have the bride. We see now the messages, Matlala. So Mogotsi now messages Matlala at 8:42 and 9:18 according to this WhatsApp chat. So Mogotsi and Matlala, they chat on WhatsApp, but Mogotsi and the minister chats on Signals, all right? So, and then there is this message where Matlala says, any developments from the IPID, and then IPID can be a breakthrough. And this is what the word breakthrough actually mirrors the minister's earlier message exactly. All right, it's just they use the same words, breakthrough. All right, this is a moment where the political and operational goals clearly match together. And this professional liar thinks we are idiots. In South African language, he thinks we are dumb gop, wants us dumb. All right, that's what Mogotsi thinks we are.
Sorry, no one was talking to the minister here. This was the minister texting you.
Yes, I'm saying it is me who was chatting with him, and it's me who was in contact with him. There is no way a third person can say, I'm lying, it's not true, we were talking about something else. It's true what is that you see here.
Let's see how you respond to the minister. Well, first of all, we see that you did actually respond. Can we just stay on 53? There was a response that you sent on Tuesday, December the 24th. We can see the top, that little blue line at the top represents a message that would have come from you, but we can't see what its content was. because it's obscured by the sign that says signal message. So we know you responded, and that you responded on Tuesday, December the 24th. We just don't know what you said.
Yeah, I can see, but I believe you, commissioners, this is most downloadable from the from the iPhone 16. It's supposed to come out clear. I don't know why is it like this.
Sorry, Mr. Mogotsi, this is a screenshot that you yourself took of your communications with the minister, then WhatsApped it to Mr. Mogotsi, Mr. Matlala.
No, I know I'm Mr. Matlala at the moment. Yeah, but I responded there, as you say, but I know we're talking about the Stilfontein.
You know you're talking about Stilfontein now.
I can't hear the question.
You know now that that was about Stilfontein.
About the arrest. That's correct.
Who was arrested in Stilfontein?
It was, like I said, they were looking for a suspect after a community meeting, and he asked me if there was the arrest was. Then I called him. I also called him, I remember, to say there was no any arrest.
Of course, if we had access to your signal chats, all of this would be resolved, but it seems that you no longer have access to your signal.
You know, during our interaction with your office, one of the investigators told me that I should do certain things to access and talk to whoever I did. I'm going to try to I know there's going to be cross-examinations and all those things. I'll try to get these things also.
You'll try to reconstruct your signal account.
Yeah, and by the way, there is a process. I believe that Kat Matlala's phone and it is going to be those messages will be re-downloaded. Perhaps at some stage we'll get all these messages.
No, but what we're looking at here is not something that any re-downloading of Kat Matlala's phone will ever help us with, because this is a screenshot of your signal communications that you sent to Mr. Matlala.
Okay, commissioners, I'll go out there and see how do I get the signal. I'll try my best, because it will also help me.
It would help you to have your signal back.
No, in these proceedings, like these messages which one cannot answer, there won't be a time where someone say, I'm putting to you that you are talking about something. If the signal can work, that statement will not come again.
A signal would help both of us, I suspect.
That's correct.
Before we leave this text, the minister says, was the arrest effected? That's quite formal language. Is that how the minister speaks?
I don't know the formal and informal. Commissioners, I did tell you, I do not have formal, I'm not matriculated, and I cannot literally say if this is formal and this is not formal.
Well, he isn't saying were they arrested or did they make an arrest. He's saying was the arrest effected?
On the keeping of the Stilfontein, whom the community was looking for.
Can you give us some details of this Stilfontein arrest that has now loomed so large? Who was the suspect? Was the suspect ever arrested?
I don't know anymore, but...
Sorry, you don't know anymore?
Yes, I've not been following that since...
So we can assume that in December 2024, the suspect wasn't arrested?
No, that time was not arrested.
Yeah.
I'm just saying ever since this July 6, all our lives have changed.
And I can understand that, but I'm very curious about these Stilfontein stories that we keep hearing about. Who was the suspect? What was the suspect alleged to have done?
That king of the Zamazamas who was arrested and escaped from custody. The community was willing, and they were trying to show some leads where to find the person.
Right, but that person was never arrested?
To date, I cannot confirm, but that time he was not arrested.
So when you sent a text to the minister saying you had a breakthrough. It didn't relate to the arrest of the king of the Zamazamas because he's still at large.
Yeah, just what I was saying. If it was, I would have said yes, it was the Zamazamas because the person was arrested. So since there was no any arrest effected, I cannot link the two messages.
So the breakthrough wasn't about the Zamazamas?
No, I can't remember. It was not about.
There was some other breakthrough that you can't recall?
Yeah, probably.
Let's follow that chronology a bit further. Now, we need to go back to page 46. And we see on page 46 two things, which is before the ministers texted you at 1919, you've called Mr. Matlala at 14:05.
No, but I don't see where you say the minister called me. Is it the same?
No, remember the minister calls you, the minister texts you on Signal, before the minister texts you on Signal.
Yes, but that means it's the separate two pages that you said I should keep separate.
Yes, your communications with the minister are on pages 52 and 53.
That's correct, I have it.
So, on the 24th at 14:05, you had an audio call with Mr. Matlala. The minister then asks about whether an arrest has been effected at 19:19, that's page 53. And nothing comes back from Mr. Matlala. But you end up calling him at 11:03 on Christmas Eve.
Calling who, Commissioner?
Mr. Matlala. Was that because you were very anxious to find out about the IPID guy because you wanted to give the minister a Christmas present?
Commissioners, I don't know how will this be understood well that the two messages, the two communications between myself and the minister and myself and Kat do not really apply to the messages of Minister Senzo. And about the Christmas present, I don't know of a Christmas present.
I see. Let's see what happens on Christmas Day. If we go down to 8:42, that's just almost 8:45 on Christmas morning, you send Mr. Matlala a WhatsApp. Good day, bro. I believe it was a misdial, sorry. 1 IPID. So on Christmas Day, you are still badgering Mr. Matlala to give you details about IPID.
Yeah, that's correct.
We go down a little bit, in fact, over the page, all the way down to 9:18 on Christmas Day on page 47. You got that?
Time?
9:18. Sort of towards the bottom of page 47.
Yes, I see.
You got it?
Yes,
you send Mr. Matlala a message, and the message says, IPID can be a breakthrough.
That's correct.
Does that word breakthrough ring a bell?
To get the IPID, I think that should be read together with page 46, where I say, good day, brah, Christmas 0842. I believe it was a misdial, sorry. Then 1, IPID, 2, court case date, 3, 25%, we may lose accommodation and flight packages. It must be read with that. So I knew that when he can get the IPID person, it will help him to deal with the police those handled his wife and everything. But particularly for me, I wanted to know the IPID person.
Why did you want to know the IPID person?
Because he could do wonders. The way he told me he could deal with, it was his connection, and I wanted to know him, and he was telling me that guy can do wonders, can arrest.
And what would these wonders do to advance your operation?
Is to know this particular IPID guy who is able to perform his duties so wonderfully, instructed by this private person.
I see. Let's follow the chats. You say IPID can be a breakthrough.
That's correct.
Was it just a coincidence that you used breakthrough in your text to the minister a couple of days earlier and breakthrough there?
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
Unfortunate coincidence.
Question, Commissioner?
An unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
I see. What happens later is you've texted at 9:18. Mr. Matlala says at 9:18, there's a bit of a hurdle there, but I'll fill you in. You text back at 10:32, will it work? And he says at 10:54, needs someone brave enough.
That's correct. It means that IPID guy couldn't do it, and he ended up not giving the name of the IPID guy, but the man was not brave enough.
I see. So we didn't have an IPID guy who was brave enough. Let's go down the chat until we get to 27 December, the day that you forward him the minister's exchange. Page 52. You got it?
I got it. It's the one I have in my hand.
Indeed. On the 27th of December, you send Mr. Matlala your exchange with the minister about breakthroughs and whether arrests were effected. You follow that?
I can't follow.
What you have in your hand, pages 52 and 53, is a screenshot of your signal chat to the minister that you sent to Mr. Matlala on the 27th of December at 12:01. You'll see the date when you sent it to Mr. Matlala if you go to the top of page 52.
That's correct.
So you have a screenshot of your signal account with the minister. Take a screenshot, you forward it to Mr. Matlala on WhatsApp on the 27th of December at 12:01.
That's correct.
And what you're forwarding to him is this.
Thing of Stilfontein.
Well, you say it's a thing of Stilfontein. What it says is we got a breakthrough and was the arrest effected?
Yeah, but this...
And then 4 minutes after you, sorry, not 4 minutes, 12:05, 4 minutes after you've sent it to him, you send him a one-word message that says IPID.
That's correct.
Why did you send that one-word message IPID to him straight after forwarding him the minister's?
No, I was going back to the discussion, our discussion about the IPID, but I can tell you why did this message go to him of the Stilfontein. Then the police who released, let's start my work again. The police who were charged for the escape of that Kimping, which we were looking for. There was a case and they were charged. And one of these police is based here in Pretoria. And this, as I was talking, maybe this one, I can't remember, but we were talking, me and Kate, on the phone. And he told me, you know, I've got a guy. This guy can help us, because I was telling him about that guy, because the one of them who was charged staying in Pretoria. And he felt that that guy wanted to tell the truth.
Sorry, can I just clarify what you're saying now? That
Yes.
Mr. Matlala
Yes.
had told you that he knew this guy.
Who was one of the police officers who were charged for the
Okay.
escape of the kingpin.
Of allowing the kingpin to escape.
Yes, that one.
Is this the same story as that
The same
operation? Sorry, hang on a minute. The operation
Malumkoti.
with Colonel Maluleke that you did with the Nkabis that won you the trust of General Sibia, or is it a different situation?
No, this is a different situation. We are talking about, here's the person we wanted to have, the kingpin who ran away. Now, this kingpin who ran away, commissioners, we could not get him.
In this clip, he's lying. Okay, he's lying. He's talking about a kingpin who escaped in Stilfontein mine that happened this year. We're talking about Christmas Day exchange. And his lie is going to be caught. And when his lie is caught around the dates, he now has created another kingpin who nobody knows about, that only Mogotsi knows. Professional liar. That's how he lies. Pathological lie. He lies like that. So this is a lie. This stuff about kingpin, effective arrest, it happened this year. It wasn't last year, December. But this lie will be caught in this exchange.
Now, I reached to Matlala that, we are looking for this and this and this person. The police allowed, or they ganged or whatever, but they teamed up to have this man escaped. And he said, indeed, there's one guy also from here who was working there. I think he may know how this whole thing happened.
You see, what's odd about this explanation is there's not the faintest hint of it in any of the WhatsApps that we see between yourself and Mr. Matlala, which traverse a very wide range of subjects, but never touch on Stilfontein at all.
Yeah, but we would also talk over the phone, because that was now when I was talking to him over the phone.
I see. So you're suggesting that it's just another unfortunate coincidence that when you send the minister's communication to you, to Mr. Matlala, you just happened, unfortunately, to follow it up with a one-line message saying IPID. That message was sent 4 minutes later.
Yeah, but IPID has always been our story, me and Matlala. And I told him that we are looking for this particular guy. And some of the information he provided about this police officer who was charged could not actually help us at the end of the day. We couldn't find that man. And this, for the Commission's knowledge, information, those police who were charged, they are still, I think their disciplinary hearings have just been concluded. I'm not sure, since July 6th.
Let's follow the chats. 12:05, you say IPID.
That's correct.
You get a response about 20 minutes later from Mr. Matlala, who says, let me know when you get back.
That's correct.
12:31, you say, what does the guy need? And then you say, I'm heading to Cape Town for January the 8th at 12:32. And then Mr. Matlala writes back to you at 12:37. The case needs to have assault for him to effect arrest.
That's correct.
He uses that same phrase, effect arrest. Is that another coincidence?
That's correct. Well, that's an English word, eh? Which is
It is an English word. It's quite a formal way of describing the process of arresting someone.
Yeah, but this cat, I couldn't tell him what to write and how not to write. It's an
Yes,
English
but
word.
so it's another one of these inexplicable, unfortunate coincidences that he just happens to use the same formal language as the minister does when he comes to describing the process of arrest.
No, probably not like the minister does. Maybe just because he just copied maybe from what I sent him, or it's an English that came to him that time. Just an English word.
I see, because he then goes on to use what sounds like his own English when he says he's saying he can't do arrest if there's no J88 to prove assault.
That's correct.
And my wife is not keen to open up an assault case. The guards who were assaulted at my house only coming back in January, they went home for Christmas.
That's correct. May I add something here, Commissioner? The formal way of writing, you see, if you can check how I write and how Cat writes, usually, the case needs to have, yes, he types his sentences in full. He like typing formally. That's how he types, unlike me. So his English is very, very formal.
Is he can't do arrest a formal description in the sentence that's typed in full?
I can't understand the question, Commissioner.
You're saying when he types in full, he likes to use formal English, but in this paragraph where he types in full, first he says the case needs to have assault for him to effect arrest, mirroring exactly what the minister said. And then he says he's saying he can't do arrest if there's no J88. Is do arrest a formal, Mr. Matlala's usual formal style for typing out long sentences?
Yeah, but this is how it's written. I don't know if commissioners, was he expected to repeat effect arrest so that the English could be proper?
You were the one who said he writes formally when he writes in long sentences.
Yeah, and formally, commissioners, you cannot repeat the sentence, the words. Like here, he doesn't even say to open a case. If it's me, I would write 2 in a number. And I'll open up an assault case. I would have just said a criminal or a case. But I'm trying to show you that he even put a comma. That's very formal way of writing. Comma, the guards who were assaulted at my house, everything is formal, how he types.
You see, Mr. Matlala, what I'm going to put to you is that it is absolutely clear from these chats that what you and the minister were discussing on 23 and 24 December was the possible arrest of PKTT members by IPID in relation to the events during the 6 December operation at Mr. Matlala's house.
No, that was not the discussion.
So, what this exchange shows is that there's actually an IPID employee who works with the cartel, the big one of the Big Five cartel, with Cat Matlala. There's someone who could effect an arrest that they were hoping would do at the time, and that effect of the arrest would depend on that J88 assault docket, which we know at the time when that home was raided, they alleged this assault which was false, and then this is when Matlala said this would be brave, and I was in reference to what his wife said. His wife refused to do a false affidavit around this to allege an assault that didn't happen. So that's why Matlala said this thing to effect arrest requires someone brave enough. All right. So the case needs an assault for him to effect an arrest, we know. And he can't do an arrest without that J88. The purpose was now unmistakable. Use IPID to arrest the PKTT, and this would be legally, would be quietly, and with a political cover. That was the intention. This is one of the most incriminating sequences of events. It is the smoking gun. Mogotsi forwards the minister's private signal chat to Matlala. Then, 4 minutes later, he sent one word message: IPID. This actually proves the pipeline, and that pipeline is that the minister demands Mogotsi to do something. Then Mogotsi goes to the Matlala, who Matlala has a guy that he knows who works in IPID who can actually effect the arrest of the PKTT team. The operation was now in full swing. Yeah. So we now know on the 31st of December, Mogotsi sent a message to a minister about a constitutional court judgment and claims. And claims that now, as a result of that constitutional court judgment, they can now charge Khumalo, make it explicitly clear now that the target, as I said, the target has always been Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo. But that judgment had nothing, we know that judgment had nothing to do with PKTT. He also admitted that he misinterpreted it, but he still used it as an ammunition against Khumalo. This whole thing shows that they were trying to find any legal justification, no matter how weak it was, to target Khumalo. And then we now know later around this the switch from IPID to target. This time around, Senzo Mchunu wasn't able to do it via the IPID route using Vusi at Matlala. He now used it using the two MPs. One of them is the DA Diana Kola Barnett. Another one is the Fadiel Adams. Fadiel Adams claims to have found this classified information that was put under his door, and then he tried to open cases in different police stations. Within 7 days, he now claimed that the dockets were missing, which went missing. He now claimed there was no one wasn't looking at his allegation, which was false, so that he can now have a leeway to contact IDAC, our Miss Johnson. All right, Miss Johnson, who is actually the head of this IDAC thing. No, so the IPID officer was not brave enough, or as it alleged, but I think the brave enough refers to the wife. There is no clean J88. There is no solid ground for an arrest. Why I'm saying it referred to the wife, because Matlala did mention this to the former minister Begicel about this whole thing, about even the missing Rolex watches, and then that his wife didn't want to do it. So we know this from different sources about it. So we could assume this doesn't refer to the brave, doesn't refer to IPID, it referred to the wife who refused to be part of this. And now this is where the IDAC and the MPs, the two MPs, one from the DA and the other one from Fadiel Adams, they played a very different roles. So the Dana caller propagated that classified information across the media and across the DA network. If you find in the media, you'll find this story about intelligence in the house that we now know is classified information. So I don't want to talk about it as much because of the classification title attached to it, but we know that information that was splashed across the media was from this, what Fadiel Adams claimed to be a docket that was put under his door, and then later he claimed some allegations, and then it was a stitch up, really a very one obvious stitch up that the minister then IDAC was really easy to weaponize, because IDAC, we now know that IDAC is actually, it runs itself. They just recently appointed a judge, and the judge is not even, you can't even call and make a complaint to an independent body in South Africa against IDAC. As if there was one, I would have made one against them, very around the stuff of Khumalo. This is crap. This is the organization that should not exist, in my view, should be disbanded, because it just doesn't look like it's actually an organization that looks at civilian. It's actually a political witch hunt. It's a weaponized organization against opposition and politicians. So it's horrible organization. So now we know that the pattern continues, that when the IPID can produce the arrest, of course, they switch to this IDAC. And we know the head of the IDAC and the husband of that Miss Johnson and the head of intelligence, Dumisani Khumalo, don't get along. This was a perfect for her. Yeah, use one stone to kill two birds, something like that. So now using Adams and Nkabinde to arrest, to restart the hunt for Khumalo. This is exactly how political operations shift to maintain the momentum. All right? This is how it happens.
That was not the discussion. It cannot be that I can discuss the arrest of these PKTT members with the minister. And to be clear with you, I know who can arrest and who has that power to arrest the PKTT. I cannot even think that I can rely on Matlala to get me IPID guy to arrest this guy. I wanted the IPID guy. So the notion that you are saying is totally not true.
Why did you want the IPID guy?
Because they said he can do wonders. And the wonders meaning he could. And I wanted to know who this person. It was not the first time I hear about him. It was not the first time.
So what were you hoping to achieve through the IPID guy?
After I got him.
Who did you want the IPID guy to arrest?
No, I did not want that. I was not interested in how the IPID will arrest those people. I wanted to know the IPID guy.
Why did you want to know an IPID guy?
This for my investigation, for my own operation.
For what purpose?
Purpose will never be understood, Commissioner. I wanted this particular guy.
This particular IPID guy?
That's correct.
The one who Mr. Matlala had been speaking to at a certain stage?
That's correct.
What was so special about that guy?
Commissioners, you know, I know IPID people. I know a lot of them. I interacted with even the investigators. I know a lot of them. I did not need Matlala to help me find an IPID person who can effect any arrest. I said I wanted the IPID guy for my own purpose, for whatever that I wanted him for, not what you are implying that we were planning that the IPID should arrest the PKTT members.
But why then would IPID be a breakthrough, in your own words?
I don't understand what, from the message that I said.
You send a message, IPID can be a breakthrough.
I remember when you talked to Matlala, I wanted the IPID guy. He wanted him to assist him to arrest people who assaulted his wife. For me to support him, I must keep on saying, must get this IPID guy to get you these people.
And what was going to be so special about this one IPID guy, as opposed to all of the other IPID guys you know?
You see, I'm not at liberty to tell. I'll be opening another can as to what this particular IPID guy do, according to Matlala.
All right, well, I put it to you that your version here is transparently false, but I'm not going to take it further.
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Nelson, are you leaving this chat?
I'm leaving this chat, but I'm moving on to other signal chats which will cast further light on
I just
it.
need the witness to clarify. Mr. Mogotsi, whose arrest were you discussing with Mr. Matlala in the last chat on page 53? Because it does refer to somebody's arrest, and it says the wife is not willing to open an assault case. The guards who were assaulted at my house are only coming back in January. So whose arrest are you discussing in this chat?
The people who went to his house,
The PKTT.
those that went to his house and harassed him.
The PKTT.
If
Yes
it was,
or no?
Yes, yes. If it was the PKTT, yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Well, you will recall later on that when you send Mr. Matlala news of the disbandment decision, you say the people who arrest you, that unit's been disbanded.
Yes, element.
So it was the PKTT people you were looking to have arrested.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Can we then go to the next text, which also seems to be a text to the Minister from you targeting the PKTT and its leadership? Can we go to page 57?
57.
57. And you'll see that on the 31st of December at 11:18, you forward to Mr. Matlala a screenshot of another message that you have sent to the Minister. And you'll recall that we discussed this message yesterday. It's a message that refers to a Constitutional Court judgment on 20 December 2024, the Makala judgment. And you say to the Minister, Minister, I'm going to get the case number and this judgment for you. Now we've got something proven by the court. This is the matter now which either Sibia or the Minister can charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary hearing. It took the Constitutional Court to release a man who was sentenced to life imprisonment through a forced Section 204 confession. Imagine, Comrade Senzo, after 30 years of democracy having this kind of policing. The good thing now is that these are not allegations but a court judgment. We discussed this briefly again yesterday. And can you just run us through your reasoning as to why this would afford a basis for the charging of General Khumalo?
As we were discussing yesterday, I did say the head of the PKTT should account or take responsibility if this has been decided by the court.
Who told you about this case?
Commissioner?
Who told you about this case, this judgment?
I can't remember where I saw it, but I can't remember who sent me that court charge. It was on the news, I think. This was on the news, on the 24th.
Do you know that there's not a single mention of the PKTT or, in fact, General Khumalo in the judgment?
Yeah, I was informed here yesterday by Madam Commissioner. And I thought it was the PKTT.
You thought it was the PKTT?
Yes.
Why did you think the Minister would be interested in the idea of charging General Khumalo arising from this judgment, assuming you were right that it was the PKTT?
And I did not think he'll be interested. I was just showing him my view that time, of which I even found it that it is probably the National Commissioner or whoever we can charge them, not the minister.
What's interesting about what you write to the minister is well, there are at least two features of what you write to him that I would submit are interesting. The first is you say you're going to get the case number and this judgment for you. Now we got something proven by the court. Who's the we?
Me and people, whoever sent me that thing, and even when we speak, actually, me and the person who sent me that thing will refer to ourselves as we, and even me when I speak to the minister, I may end up saying we.
So we includes the minister, I would have thought. If you write to someone, or if you say to someone, we have this, or we should do that, you're saying that person and yourself are the we.
No, not in this one.
So this was not.
If the message talks about democracy and after 30 years, we means the people of South Africa, means the public.
So this is like the royal we.
Yeah, no, yes.
You're speaking on behalf of the whole South African nation.
No, whoever who has this particular interest that someone is being acquitted after being sentenced to life, those that see this as an achievement.
But why would you write to the minister about this?
The minister, irrespective of for which department, even if this was in relation to minerals, I would write to the Minister of Minerals. If it was about sports, we will write to the Minister of Sports.
On his personal Signal account?
On any platform where you are able to find him.
Then you say, this is the matter now which either Sibia or the minister can charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary hearing. So you're suggesting to the minister that he should discipline General Khumalo?
As a public, yes, as a South African, I was not the first person to suggest. Where we want accountability, you will even say, Minister, fire these people, or Minister, do this.
But you're not an ordinary member of the public in relation to the minister, Mr. Mogotsi. You're someone who the minister has been phoning on several occasions on WhatsApp, on Signal.
As a comrade, and it should not be misconceived that if someone is a comrade and you being a comrade, the moment he becomes a minister, is no more a comrade. You will still call him, he will still call you.
So we know now they had a secret meeting in February the 3rd, according to the Chief of Staff testimony, that he arranged a private meeting with Mogotsi for the 3rd of February 2005. The meeting was specifically set up based on Mogotsi's communication. There's also this collaboration of the evidence from the minister, chief of staff, and also the communication of a minister with Mogotsi shows the ongoing coordination well into the new year. So what this all means, what does this all means? It means that there still is a coordinated multi-agency operation. A political pressure from a minister, two enforcement bodies were used in this coordinated multi-agents operation. That is the IPID and then IDAC. The two political intermediaries that were used, we know that we have Dana Kola from the DA. Most people don't talk about it, but she's out there with her media propagating of that classified information. And Matlala and also the MP Fadiel Adams. Now we have the ultimate target. The target is our General Lieutenant Dumisani Khumalo, One political objective was to neutralize the political killing task team and its leadership to make it weakened. They have uncovered the big five cartels. This is not law enforcement. This is the state machinery aligned with political actors and criminals to target a civilian group.
And in your testimony a few minutes ago, you said it may be the National Commissioner to do the disciplining. But in this message, you didn't mention the National Commissioner, you mentioned Sabia. Why did you mention Sabia?
I don't know why I mentioned Sabia, but I mentioned it.
Come now, Mr. Mogotsi. You do know why you mentioned Sabia. Why would you have mentioned Sabia?
Commissioners, if you know why I mentioned him, please be at liberty to tell the Commission why.
I'm not saying I know, I'm saying that you know.
When you say I know, it means you know that I know.
Why on earth would you mention a Deputy National Commissioner in relation to the discipline of General Khumalo? What could General Sabia have anything... What relevance could General Sabia have to the disciplinary process?
No, I understand the question. Sorry for wasting Commission's time. The Deputy National Commissioner of Detection is, we like using the word the boss to both the Divisional Commissioner of Intelligence, General Khumalo. He is the immediate supervisor, he is the immediate person above him.
So you're saying that General Khumalo reports to General Sabia?
Definitely.
Well, I think you're wrong in that regard. Is that what you thought?
I'm not wrong.
You are wrong. It's not a debate that we need to have with you. It's a legal fact that we can debate at the end of this commission.
Okay, may I clarify this to the Commission? The Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence is accountable to the DNC, to the Deputy National Commissioner.
Who told you this? Is that what General Sabia told you in your meetings with him when he was handling your operation?
No, I know.
Is it what your handlers told you?
It's I can even say it's my handler, but I know that the Deputy National Commissioner is above the Divisional Commissioner. They are both Lieutenant Generals, but this one is a Divisional Commissioner. The Deputy National Commissioner is above the Divisional Commissioner.
It's not a debate that I want to have with you, but I do want to know where you get that view.
It's not a view. Deputy National, the only person who's above the Deputy National Commissioner is the National Commissioner, and underneath the Deputy National Commissioner is the Divisional Commissioner.
Well, let's leave that there. I just want to find out from you, was the Minister receptive to your suggestion that General Khumalo should be charged arising out of the Matlala judgment?
It is quite clear even on the message, he did not even respond to me.
No, it's not clear on the message that he did not respond. We don't know what happened in your signal communications with the Minister, because this is the only piece of the screenshot we see.
No, I know he did not respond.
So he didn't respond at all to this message?
He never responded.
But he did respond to other messages later?
Like I say, he did not respond to this particular message.
I see. We do know, however, and we'll get to it in due course, that he asked his Chief of Staff to set up a meeting for you on the 3rd of February at a later stage.
At the legislature?
The Chief of Staff testified yesterday, having looked at the Minister's diary, that the Minister had tasked him to set up a meeting for you and the Minister on the 3rd of February.
Or with some comrades, that's correct.
Right. We'll get to that meeting a little later.
Yes, South Africa deserves transparency, not covert political operations hiding behind badges. This was not policing. This was coordination. This was targeting. This was political operation, and Khumalo was the mark. If institutions can be weaponized like this against PKTT, they then can weaponize it against anyone. Stay awake, stay critical. Justice must remain unmuted.